We are here with the Help Hope Heroes podcast.
Stevens Center, for me, they believed in me when I didn't believe in myself.
Recorded live at a homeless shelter.
I basically reinvented myself with the Stevens Center.
Our clients are the homeless, the addicted, those in poverty.
We fight the good fight.
Tear down some stigmas.
They taught me those life skills that I didn't have.
What does Help Hope Heroes mean to you?
If you come to the Stevens Center, you will be changed in a really good way.
Welcome to another episode of the Help Hope Heroes podcast. We are recorded live at a homeless shelter here in South Omaha. Today we are pleased to have a special guest, a recent HERO graduate from our HERO Intensive Inpatient Treatment Facility. With us today is Cody. Cody, say hi.
Hi, I'm Cody.
What's going on, Cody?
Pretty good. About 9 months clean. I graduated about the program about March, I say.
Okay, so March of 2019, you graduated our HERO program.
Yep.
And when did you get to our HERO program?
I got here around October 2nd, 2018.
Oh, you got your dates down. I know a lot of folks that are in sobriety. That's one important thing that they always remember is the day they, really got clean and sober, and then they always have their birth dates and things like that. So congratulations on that's about 9 months.
I've actually been clean since August 28th. I came here because of jail. Well, I went to jail due to drug court because I didn't want to do what they wanted me to do at first, so they sent me to the Stevens Center.
Okay, makes sense. We see a lot of those cases through our drug court system. Now, drug court is something, so even though you've graduated from the HERO program, you are still in drug court, correct?
Yes.
And what kind of things does that entail?
It entails basically doing everything that they say. They say jump, and I ask how high.
Yeah.
And if they say high, I do it.
Yeah.
So basically clean UAs, request for things.
Making sure you have a job, too,
making
right?
sure I have a job.
There's a requirement in that?
Basically staying in a sober living house, phases.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll get back to how you ended up in drug court in a little bit, but first we do want to get to know you a little bit better, and then we'll go back to talking about the HERO program. So, Cody, where did you grow up? You're from Nebraska originally?
Yep, I'm from Fremont, Nebraska. I grew up there. I was born June 6th. No, not June 6th, June 11th, sorry.
Yeah.
In 97.
Yeah.
At Fremont Medical Center.
Still young, you're about 22 then.
Yep, I just turned 22 on Tuesday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you grew up in Fremont. You went through the Fremont High School.
Yes, I went there from 9th to 11th, and then I went to a Fremont Learning Center, which is actually a school that goes at your own pace there. I graduated 2015.
Okay.
I did 2 classes in 1 week just so I can graduate in my class.
Got a little intense towards the end there to make sure you graduated, but you did graduate with your class. That's good.
Yes, I did graduate with my class. I really didn't go to Fremont High or like Learning Center that much. I was a bad kid too.
Yeah.
I'd get sent away and went to 2 other treatment centers, Nova and ABH, and Nova had their own school there inside their facility.
Oh, okay.
ABH, I went to Blackburn here in Omaha.
Okay.
So.
And that was all during the high school, so your teenage years, you were in and out of some treatment.
Yep. Okay,
so about how young were you when your addiction started, if you will?
I'd say 12 years old. I would go out with my brother. My dad would go to pool tournaments or pool games, and we would go into the garage and actually drink some whiskey that he had there. So
at the age of 12, you started drinking?
Age of 12.
Okay. And that slowly but surely kind of progressed into pot and other things like that?
Yeah, progressed into pot. I started smoking pot actually my 8th grade year in middle school.
Okay. And if you could just pull the microphone a little bit closer to you. I know I told you got to be uncomfortably close to it. As if it's not uncomfortable enough already. You got to get all close on the microphone. So that's interesting. By 8th grade, you had drank. You had some alcohol and you'd had some marijuana.
Mm-hmm.
And when do you feel like it really started to maybe get out of control? I mean, that's already out of control to be doing it so young. But in your mind, looking back.
I'd say when I was in 9th grade, closer to when I was 14 years old, I moved back. I actually moved back in with my mom at this time, and
Still in Fremont.
yeah, still in Fremont.
Moved back in with your mom.
She basically enabled a lot of things I did. She would give me money and everything. I love my mom to death and everything, but she basically did not care what I did. She did, but she did not, in a way.
Like give you money, but didn't ask questions about what it was for, type of thing. That makes sense.
And I would purposely annoy her too to get money as well.
Mm-hmm. You knew if you threw a fit,
Yep.
you get that money. Interesting. So that's some. I would imagine that's something you've kind of realized as of recent. Like you didn't really realize that when you're in the throes of addiction, but through the help of rehab and the Hero program.
Yeah.
So that's something you kind of came to conclusions with your therapist.
Yeah.
Over at Hero.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Very interesting. So obviously, if you're in the drug court system, there was a day where you must have been arrested.
I was actually out of jail when I got bounded into drug court. And that was September 4th, of 2018.
Okay.
But I actually went to jail that day because I showed up to court wearing a pink shirt and little khaki brown shorts, thinking I was okay.
Mm-hmm.
And it was not okay.
Yeah.
Judge did not like that.
Yeah, they
Put
want
me
you to
in jail
dress
for
up.
a week. Yeah.
Really? Just based on your appearance of not being prepared and not respecting the court kind of thing?
Yeah, and they also found like evidence in my phone of me trying to get some weed and
after your arrest?
Yeah.
Pre your court date?
Yep.
Okay, so they weren't thinking you were taking it too seriously. And
yeah.
Yeah. So is there the day that you were arrested or the day that you were charged, what were you charged with?
I was charged with a conspiracy intent to deliver a controlled substance of marijuana.
Okay. So does that mean that it's over an ounce or that it's concentrate or something like that?
They did not find anything on me. They just had people's hearsay.
Yeah.
Messages.
Yeah. So it might have been part of a larger operation or a larger sting.
Yeah.
And your information came up as a result of text messages. So there's that conspiracy charge. So you were, 21 or 20 at the time?
Yeah, 20. 20
at the time. What's going through your young mind as all this is happening? Like, what at that moment in time did you think, okay, I have a problem and this needs to stop? Or were you thinking, oh, man, I got busted. I need to get through this so I can get back to using?
Nothing really went through my mind at that point. I just kept resuming what I was doing until basically my kid was born, and my kid's mom actually messaged me one day saying if I wanted to see my kid, and I went back to stay with them for a little bit and got back with her and everything because there's a whole situation that happened. I ended up cheating on my kid's mom with some girl while she was pregnant.
Okay.
Because she was really into drugs and everything too. And then I thought, well, I felt like my kid's mom wasn't giving me enough attention or anything like that. And I really wanted to get high. I couldn't deal with the fact that I was going to be a dad already.
Yeah.
At the age I was, and I was just trying to live my life in a way. And I settled down for a little bit. All I was using was pot.
Yeah.
Because I was really big into cocaine at the time too. I got back with her, was using pot, just smoking weed at night. And then
which when you're actively using cocaine and then you go back to just pot, it's easy for it to feel that way, right? Just pot.
Yeah.
You're not seeing that as a bad or negative thing in your life because you're thinking to yourself, hey, at least it's not cocaine.
It's not cocaine.
Yeah.
It's not the cocaine or anything. And I was with my kid's mom for about until I turned 21. And that was about like 6 months because we got back together around January. And everything started going downhill then because I turned 21. I was able to drink legally. I started drinking again. Yeah. And lost a bunch of jobs that were good. We ended up splitting up. And I was able to recover a good job at this time. Like I said, I was burying fiber optic cables, everything, and I actually started using cocaine again. And
Okay. Along with that good job came
drinking,
more money and
drinking, smoking more pot.
yeah.
Lived in a buddy's garage for a little bit until I could get a place, and then the place I decided to get was a motel that was they used to call the Roach Motel
Oh, yeah.
in Fremont. So I started doing a lot during this time. I got with a new girl. I'm not gonna say her name or anything.
Yeah,
I don't
absolutely,
think she was
yeah.
like that.
Oh, yeah.
But I got with a new girl. Basically all we did was party.
Mhm.
Like I wanted to party. Like I don't know what she really wanted. I didn't really care.
Yeah.
I just wanted that satisfaction of like I'm free.
Yeah. It's that
real-
lifestyle that you wanted. And
Yeah, and I wasn't really thinking about my kid this whole entire time either.
yeah.
Like it was just me.
Well, you know, I've heard stories of younger fathers or any first-time dads. It's when a child is born, it's the first time in your life when there's actually somebody that can truly tell you no. Meaning, no, you can't just keep living the way you want because there's something greater than you on the earth now, and it's your responsibility, right? So that can bring an overwhelming sense of emotion and responsibility, and almost be pretty overwhelming, and can cause you to make some poor decisions as a way of showing control, right? As a way of showing power. No, I still got this. This is still my life. I'm going to live this lifestyle. So what you're experiencing is not too uncommon.
Yeah.
And now that you're looking back, it sounds like you may now have a pretty good relationship with your child. And how old is your child?
He's 1, I think, and a half. I don't. He's close to
Yeah,
there.
yeah. But making decisions, when you make decisions in your life, you're thinking of that child.
Yes, I think about him every time. I've been working more on seeing him more. I'm actually excited for this weekend on Sunday for Father's Day. I'm actually going to be able to spend time with him.
Yep.
And not be sitting there trying to get high or drunk.
Yeah, that's a fantastic feeling.
And I actually got to spend time with him on my birthday. Last year on my birthday, I was at the casino actually, getting high and drunk and gambling at the same time.
Yep.
And it was pretty bad because my kid's mom actually put in a baby book how about this day, because there was actually a tornado that touched down right outside our trailer park where we were living at.
Wow.
And she put in there me and mom was saving me and the dog while dad was at the casino getting messed up.
Well, yeah, that's not anything that belongs in a baby book.
No, I
You know.
I didn't think so either. I
Yeah.
think she did it because she's
It's proving a point.
trying to prove a point to me, and she did prove a point.
That's a good wake up.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to hear that you got to spend this past birthday with him.
yeah.
That's an awesome feeling. And then to know that you'll have him again on Father's Day. Is it those little things in life that are keeping you motivated to stay clean and sober?
Yes.
Yeah.
He needs a father, not a father behind bars. So
There you go. It's a great way to look at it. The only way to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, tell me, let's get back into the HERO program. So you landed in, sounds like you were in court and jail in around August and September of 2018, and you get into the drug court system. And then the drug court system, one of their requirements is that you attend our intensive inpatient treatment program at
Yes.
the HERO program. So as we've talked about in past podcasts, our HERO program has these 4 different phases. Talk to me about, day one here. What was going through your mind? What were you thinking? What was it like, that experience getting here for that first day or that first week?
So day one basically for me was like, oh yeah, I'm out of jail. Do I really want to be here? I checked it out, got everything in my room. Didn't have nothing at first until that ex-girlfriend of mine brought my things here. I came in here with some people I knew from the streets, which really felt really good. There was a couple of them from drug court as well, from my drug court, which was pretty good. That first night I actually went to a meeting here. It was a Monday night meeting down in room 308 or 3.
Yeah. Was it in the new building or in the
Yeah, the
Hero
new
building?
building.
Yeah, so 133.
Yeah,
Room 133.
133.
Lots of meetings in that room.
Yeah, that's the meeting I went to that night, and it kind of made me want to stay here in a way. I didn't want to, like, I was a mess when I first came in. Like, I didn't want to do anything anybody told me to do or anything like that. I was already mad. I was like, had this attitude in a way, basically, like, they didn't catch me with any evidence. Like, why the hell am I on this drug court or anything like that? Why the hell am I here?
Mm-hmm.
And then thinking, well, I did have drugs at this time, and they just didn't find it.
It's often easy to cast blame
Mm-hmm.
at others when you know deep down the problem is yourself.
Yep.
Right, but that's a normal reaction, especially right at the beginning of treatment, as far as I understand.
So, and then going through the process, going through everything, doing my life story, doing the script.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about that, though. So in Hero, that first week or two, they're actually forcing, or your one assignment really, is to write a life story.
Yeah.
So you literally, on pen and paper.
Wrote my life story down.
Wow.
There was some things I left out. I didn't really think it was a concern or anything.
Yeah.
Some things I've done on my step 4 already with my sponsor. I didn't feel like I needed to share the information with him.
Yeah.
Well, with the people here at the Stevens Center. I did I went through basically blackout phase.
Mm-hmm. Which is where you got no technology, no connection to the outside
no
world.
Nothing. I could only talk to the people inside. That really sucked.
Yeah.
It really sucked.
What did it do for you, though?
It really made me humble in a way.
That's great.
Like, I couldn't talk to anybody. Like, if I would have talked to somebody probably during that week, I would have came up with a plan to either jump state or leave the country.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
But you didn't. You stuck with it.
Yeah, I stuck with it.
Humbled
I
up.
stayed.
Mm-hmm.
Everything started getting easier when I got to phase 2. I got a job right away at the UPS down over here, right off Edward Babe Grove. There. I delivered packages for them, driver helper during Christmas hour.
That was in phase 2. And so on phase 2, when you have a job, you're allowed to leave campus during the day.
Yep, you're allowed to leave and go on passes and everything. I really didn't go on passes that much because I'm from Fremont. And the only time I went to passes on, like, long passes was the time that the Thanksgiving, Christmas.
Those holidays.
Those holidays, because they gave you an extra 5 hours. Because the first part of the phase 2, you get 5 hours. The second part of the phase 2, like, after your 6 weeks of an IOP, they give you 10 hours.
Okay.
So I didn't really start going much until I got those 10-hour passes, because I was like, well, I got this much time now. I can go to Fremont and come back.
So when you got that opportunity, you got up to those 10-hour visits, what did that do for you? I mean, you earned it, right? Like, you only got that because you earned your way to it. How did that make you feel? Were you pretty proud at that moment?
I feel pretty proud, yeah.
Yeah.
I felt really proud. I even got my phone during this time, too.
Okay.
So I was able to, like, contact people and everything and sit in my room and watch movies and everything, because it does get pretty boring up.
When we're not keeping you busy, right?
Yeah,
with
like on the weekends and everything.
Yeah.
And after like all the classes and all that, it does get pretty boring at the Stevens Center. That's one thing I will not miss, being there.
Lack of things to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's another thing about a reminder of how nice it will be when you get to that point where you have more freedom and you have more control over your weekend and you can do things, you know, and get an Xbox or something like that. And,
and going through the phase 2, getting that done, and going to phase 3, this is where I actually was, I did everything the Stevens Center wanted me to do, and I actually was sneaking around with some girl at this time.
Oh,
And
come on, Cody.
did not.
That's a big no-no. But
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
She was from Lincoln and everything, and she had 19 months clean. She was in the program as well. I didn't see any problem with it. I was doing everything Steven Center wanted me to do, but I was not doing one thing for drug court, and I didn't get her approved or anything like that. So I got in trouble.
Okay, so you weren't breaking any Steven Center rules.
No.
You broke a rule of drug court.
Yes.
And that rule is no girlfriend or visitors without a prior approval. What is that rule?
Yes, no, can't have any like relationships without approval in a way. Like, you have to make sure like they are safe to you, like everything like that.
Which I can see why they have that rule. They want you to succeed at drug court. They're not putting you in it to fail.
Yeah.
Right. So they have this rule to make sure that you don't bring in somebody that's actively using back into your circle.
Mm-hmm.
I can understand that. And I can also understand, your temptation there and thinking, well, it's not that big a deal because she's 19 months clean. But again, what lesson did you learn by breaking that rule, Cody?
I needed to actually, because this is a time like where I wasn't that much had that much clean time or anything. I had at least about 4 months clean, 4 or 5 months clean at this time. Actually 6 months thinking about it.
Yeah. What was your lesson learned? You broke that rule.
I could not
drug
sneak
court.
around. I need to do everything that drug court wanted me to do. Like,
They punish you?
Yes, I actually went to jail a day before my graduation at the Steven Center. So
That's
I went to
interesting.
jail for 3 days, and I got out.
And that put your graduation at risk here, I'm sure.
Yes,
in
it
some
did.
way. You
It
really
moved-
need to get some leniency.
It moved it up till that Monday actually, and I graduated. And I've already had plans on that Wednesday. I was gonna move into my Oxford house and everything that I'm at right now. I was gonna be moving in that Wednesday, and I didn't get to move in until that Monday. So I basically had to another 4. Well, I had to spend the weekend here at the Steven Center before I could go to that Oxford house.
Okay. So yeah, that was a close call, if you will, and it could have been a lot worse as far as punishment goes. So I'd imagine you grew some pretty strong bonds over at Steven Center with some of the staff.
Yes, I did.
Could you tell us about the staff at our Hero program?
So I really liked Jamal.
Yeah.
Jamal was pretty
He's
cool.
hard not to like.
Lori was my counselor. I really liked her. I used to tell Lori that Jamal is my side counselor.
That's funny.
And now,
so when you're talking to Jamal, you feel guilty. You feel like you're cheating on her.
Yeah. Steve is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Everybody doesn't really like Joey that much. I grew a bond with her for a little bit. Everybody used to call her Police Joey.
Yeah. You gotta have that strong figure though.
Yeah. You have to have somebody that I can actually has it's basically how I feel like Steve is basically the nurturing one, and Joey's just I'm gonna
good cop, bad cop.
Yeah, good cop, bad cop.
Yeah.
Basically, and I liked all the staff basically there. Tracy definitely, she was one of our drug court alumni.
So, and if there's something you could say to them, I mean, do you have a sense of gratitude towards the staff at Hero program?
Yeah, actually, I'm grateful that I got to meet them all and everything and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So keep getting closer to that microphone. Make sure you're speaking up. Sorry, you just cut out a little bit. So I just want to make sure. Yeah. So in the HERO program, so our HERO program that is an acronym. HERO, the H stands for health, and then empowerment, responsibility, opportunity. Could you talk to us a little bit about things you may have learned about yourself as far as health?
Basically, for my health in a way, I had a bunch of grief going on. I learned that I needed to love myself and everything, and I basically started loving myself more. I had a problem with it even after leaving here. I go to therapy and everything with this lady named Diane, and we worked on some things where I can start loving myself more and everything. And it started here with that process. I had a bunch of anger too when I first came to the Stevens Center. I didn't like anything really. My days, like couple of days on phase one, I was actually, people would ask, when we go in community and do our gratefuls, and I would say I wasn't grateful for absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And everybody like, there has to be at least something you are grateful for. And I'm like, no, there's nothing.
It's just a cry for help. You wanted the counselor's attention.
Yeah.
Because you challenge them over there, they're going to dig in deep, and they're going to make sure they've done everything they can to change that attitude.
Yeah, and there's a lot of other things I had to work on too. After I learned that I was a master manipulator, I actually manipulated Sharon, the director, to give me back my phone one day because Lori took it one day, and
on the same day.
Basically, I had turned around, I talked to Sharon about it. She gave me my phone back, and I got in trouble later that day. That was actually the day, that Monday, before I went to drug court and got arrested.
Okay.
And missed my graduation. I did all that. So I basically worked on all that, and that's where I learned that I am a master manipulator, and I like to triangulate situations. And I've been working on that lately. Because I work at Sonic now.
Okay.
I try to manipulate people in a way to give me tips.
Yeah.
Like, oh, let's go out there for pretty face, even though inside Sonic, I'm just like, I hate this place so much.
Yeah.
But let's put on this pretty face, see what I can do.
Yeah. So it's important to learn those types of things about yourself so you can learn to improve them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure that's a learned behavior from your time on the streets, really, or dealing with drugs and people in that world. Probably a learned behavior because you were going to manipulate to get high, right?
Yeah. And I manipulated a lot of people in my past too, like my mom, my grandma, my aunts, my sister, my brother, all that kind of stuff.
Have you had a chance to talk to them about that, or?
I wish I could talk to my brother about it. He actually was shot and killed in 2015.
I'm really sorry to hear that. And there's a grief that you're talking about.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry to hear that. That's tough. He was older or younger?
He was older than me. That's one of the things I worked on at the Stevens Center that really helped me grow in a way is from that grief. The guy basically got off 40 months probation on that manslaughter. I think the whole case was BS in a way, but everything like that, and I had resentments and everything during this whole entire thing, and I actually worked on one of them here. I had a resentment towards the judge that did that case and everything, and coincidence, the drug court judge is the same judge that did my brother's case.
Interesting. Funny how that stuff works out.
Basically, going through this drug court program and everything, it's just like, I hate you, but you are doing so good for me right now. Like, I put that hate away. Like, he is doing everything to change my life, and that's what's working. It's actually changing my life. I'm really grateful for the drug court program that I'm on right now. I actually phased up on Tuesday to phase 2.
On your birthday?
Yep.
Cool.
And so, like, basically I'm up that second phase. I'm taking another journey to better myself on this everything. And the being healthier and feeling healthier and everything and doing everything like that, my health has been a lot better.
And that's a good perspective because a lot of times people will come in and they've been using for so long, it's their physical health that is their main concern or something to worry about. But what you're talking about is just your state of mind, your state of well-being, your mental health, and you got to work on that here. And that's grief, and that's resentments. A lot of things that are outside of your control. I'm sure they talked about that a lot. Only worry about what you can control. Difficult lesson for any adult to learn, but you're learning it and you're working through it, and it seems like you have a great outlook on it, especially moving forward. It's got to be a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah, and
see that same judge, but
basically I work on a lot of things with my sponsor, Dan Bender.
Shout out to Dan. I think it was
shout
episode
out to
3,
Dan.
episode 4. So if you haven't seen that one, go back and watch Dan. Plenty of talking in that one for that guy Dan.
Yeah, he does talk a lot in a way.
I owe him a golf match too. So
Yeah, we go golfing a lot too.
Yeah.
He's actually helped me a lot with my steps. I had a bunch of other sponsors before and everything. I had a couple at the Stevens Center here, and I did not do any work with them. I was like, well, I'm in treatment and everything. This is what my thought was. I was in treatment. Why do I need a sponsor? Blah, 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 this. So I got the sponsor actually, Dan, actually, after I got out of jail and graduated at the Stevens Center. And I've been making so much progress with him. It's ridiculous. At first, he told me when he first started sponsoring me, he thought I was an idiot.
yeah.
And I do believe that. And now since ever been working through with me and everything, I've become more responsible, more adult, acting like more of an adult, basically, and everything like that. So
And we're gonna get right back to that adult responsibility thing. But the next letter in the acronym of HERO is empowerment.
empowerment.
So through this process, have you felt empowered, or have you empowered others around you? What do you think about that?
Empowered in a way. Basically, I do feel like I've taken actions and everything I need to do to make sure I am sober and clean and following the rules and staying out of trouble and everything, because I've always had a life of in and out of jail,
Doing
in
what
and
you
out of
want.
treatment. I actually was doing what I wanted, and I had an ankle monitor on, and I would tell my dad, hey, I'm going to this place, blah, 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 and I'm actually going to this place, and he would call my tracker and be like, oh, well, you didn't go to this place, and I would still be like, oh, I did go to this place, though, like.
Just kept on trying to push that lie through.
Yeah, try to push it through and everything, and I've actually been went to the treatment center, ABH, with that on too, which is there's another coincidence. The staff member from ABH is now my probation officer.
Okay.
So
You keep getting these recurring cast of characters in your life, and something tells me they're there to save you. You know, because you're not a finished story yet, right?
No.
You still got to get through drug court, clean and sober, rehab, all that. That's a lifetime thing.
Yeah, and I believe God's trying to tell me something by all that. Having the judge there, the PO, the drug court coordinator actually was a staff member there too. It's just like a recurring thing. Like, it's time for me to step up and actually be an adult.
Yeah.
Play that role that I need to play.
And so you found a higher power, it sounds like.
Yes.
Is that through this whole process? Is that something that was a part of your life growing up?
No, I really didn't believe in God that much, and anything like that. Like, my real dad's side of the family, because my real dad passed away when I was 3. I have this stepdad I call my dad. He's been there ever since. My real dad's side of the family, they're actually like church going and everything like that. They read the Bible and everything like that.
But through this process, you got reintroduced to that idea.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's good to have. You know, I mean, that's something that you can rely on, and I know it gets talked about a lot in the 12-step program. So
Yeah.
just glad to hear that you found that. So you touched on this for a little bit, about adulting, right? Now you're adulting. The responsibility, that's the next letter in the acronym of HERO. What kind of responsibility have you gained from the program?
Well, what I gained from the program is basically there's times that I did not want to get up and go to work or anything. Only when I started actually working regularly and not either trying to quit was when I was burying fiber optic cables. I loved doing that. But before, I used to be like, oh, I do not like this job. I'm just going to quit it, even though I needed to work that job and basically try to keep my house afloat and everything like that. And it did not work out like that. I would quit jobs, I was not responsible with it. Now I'm actually holding a job. It might be Sonic, and I don't like it, but good thing with the drug court thing, they actually want me to look for something that is actually in my profession or
Your area
what
of interest,
interested
yeah.
me and everything. And it's just kind of hard to find that around here in Omaha, especially if you don't have a vehicle. And,
Yeah.
that's one thing I'm also struggling for is transportation. I always have to take bus and everything. And then there's these places that are actually hiring, and it's just like it's all the way down here, and I'm all the way down here on 75th and Maple. And
Yeah.
like I can't, like, I'll see if the bus goes down there, but I just don't know where I'm going because I'm not from Omaha.
Yeah. But time can heal a lot, right? So progress, not perfection.
Yep.
One day you will get your own transportation. One day you will have more job opportunities, and just because of that simply, and that's so cool that drug court's pushing you towards an area of interest. Now, as a result, I'd imagine you've been charged with a felony,
It is pending right now.
that
'cause of
conspiracy
drug
charge.
court.
So
Yep.
once you graduate drug court,
It'll go
no
away.
felony and nothing on your record.
Nothing.
So talk to me. That leads perfectly into the O on Hero. Talk to me about opportunity.
Opportunities, basically, that once this felony goes away, I can either go find something that I don't have to worry about, like, oh, I got this felony on my
Yeah.
record. I don't think I'm going to be able to work here or anything like that. And I won't be a felon anymore. And when I do take my kid's mom to court or anything, she can't use that against me, like, oh, you are a felon.
Yeah.
I don't want my kid being around a felon or anything like that.
Yep. What a huge opportunity.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough to really get your head around how big of an opportunity that is, because that is setting you up for success in the future.
Yeah.
And that's your entire life. So,
And I'm happy about it too, because even as a kid, I had some felonies and they got away and everything, and now I'm an adult. Like,
they don't go away.
they
Not
don't,
unless you do this drug court
unless you do this drug court thing. And I'm glad I got it right now, still at 22, because if I didn't get it, like, I'd be either dead or in prison this time. And I was so used to getting in trouble and everything as a kid, like, it was just nature to me. And now I'm realizing it's not the way of life. Like, I need to actually, like, try to find that way of life. And I feel like I found that solution because of the program and everything.
So have you built in some routines for yourself that help you day to day maintain some sobriety and the right mindset?
Yes, I actually, I would wake up. Surprisingly, I wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning every morning to call the UA line.
Yeah.
Like at night, I would say, okay, so start off my day. I wake up at 6 in the morning, call UA line. If I have to UA, I do fall asleep a little bit because I have somebody that usually gives me a ride to drug testing and everything, and I get the ride there, everything, get back home. I sometimes fall back to sleep, or I eat something, watch a little TV, and then I go to this noon meetings at the 12-step house mostly every day.
Good.
Go to work at 2 till 10 o'clock, come home, watch TV, go to my room, take my medications, talk to my Google Home, tell it to set an alarm clock for me,
Yeah.
and then start the day over again, basically.
That's a great routine to be in. I mean,
Yeah.
you're adulting is exactly what you were talking about.
It does sound boring, but, you know,
Yeah, it's not though.
It's
'Cause
not,
you're doing, you're
really.
working on a future, right?
Yeah.
To where you can get things that you don't just need, get things that you want, provide for that child, be as involved as possible in that child's life. So
Yeah.
you're doing the right thing, and I think there's going to be a good number of people that watch and listen to this that will be applauding you, as they should, because what you're doing isn't easy, especially at a younger age. So just 2 more questions. If there's something you could say to somebody that's in the throes of addiction right now, somebody that's in the middle of it, their plan tonight is to go and get messed up. What is something you think you could say to them that might change their mind?
It's not really worth it. Like, I would try to tell them what my experience is with it and everything like that. I know, for me, once I was in those like things, I really didn't care anything, and I probably know what they're going through because they don't care about anything. They're trying to cover something up, or at least trying to either numb their pain of what they're going through, or trying to run away from something, or I think basically the same thing. They're always trying to run.
Yeah.
And running from your fear, like, that's false evidence that appears real. That's one thing I've always heard from the 12 steps is from people at the meetings, is false evidence appearing real is not really there.
Absolutely.
It's not really there. It's what you're thinking about.
When you're in that circle or in that world, can you trust anybody? You know, looking back, was there anybody trustworthy around you? Outside of, you know, we're going to go half on a bag together or something like that.
No,
You trust
no,
that, but like
really trust
they're not
anybody.
looking out for your best interests.
No,
right?
they're just wanting to use you in a way.
The same way you would use them.
Yep.
Right. And so now do you feel like you have a circle around you that you can trust?
Yes.
And can you come back to Stevens Center, even though you're a graduate, can you come back and talk to us at any time?
Yes, I come back actually every Thursday and chair a meeting.
That's fantastic. So that's what you're going to do here tonight, right?
Yeah, I'm going to do that tonight.
That's cool.
I like coming back here. I love to go annoy Steve a little bit.
But I'm sure he's happy to see you.
Yeah.
He gets to
I
look
know.
you in the eye and make sure you're still on the up and up. You know,
Yeah.
I think that's something that's big for us here is knowing that what we've done has worked and that you're continuing on that path. I know for a fact, I'm speaking on behalf of the Hero crew over there, is that they're proud of you, Cody, and so we are too. And it's been a pleasure to get to know you and meet you. I mean, I think we crossed paths a couple times while you were here because I'll pop over and we ran some game days, and you're probably at those when we were serving ice cream and stuff. It usually gets the Hero guys over. We serve ice cream Sundays. So real quick, we end every episode with the same question. This doesn't have to pertain to Stevens Center or the Hero program. It could just be about you, your life, your perspective, whatever it is. But what does Help Hope Heroes mean to you, Cody?
Help Hope Heroes. The help that I got here, basically.
Lean into the microphone. I hear you cutting out. There you go. Lean
the
in.
help that I basically got here and everything, it helped me a lot with my life, figuring things out and everything. The hope that I can get, that basically the promises in a way, the hope that I can get the promises coming my way. Some of the promises did come my way, actually, and being able to spend time with my kid, everything like that. Getting my family back in a way, actually able to open up to people.
This had to be a big step today.
Yeah, that really big step. Basically, coming here and speaking was kind of like coming out of my comfort zone a little bit, because I have to feel uncomfortable in a way to be able to grow spiritually and not mentally with my 12-step work and everything.
Absolutely.
And, heroes, basically, I am the hero. Like, I graduated this program, became a hero.
Absolutely. That's so true. All right. Well, I think that wraps it up. We thank you so much for your time today. And again, I imagine it's so tough to actually open up and share.
Yeah.
Especially for such a youngin'.
Yeah.
Coming in here at the age of 22, young in your recovery, young in life, so much promise, so much hope ahead of you. We're all going to be rooting for you, and I know everybody watching this podcast is as well. So thank you so much for your time, Cody.
Thank you.
All right, great. We are here with the Help Hope Heroes podcast.
Stevens Center, for me, they believed in me when I didn't believe in myself.
Recorded live at a homeless shelter.
I basically reinvented myself with the Stevens Center.
Our clients are the homeless, the addicted, those in poverty.
We fight the good fight.
Tear down some stigmas.
They taught me those life skills that I didn't have.
What does Help Hope Heroes mean to you?
If you come to the Stevens Center, you will be changed.